Hello, Putnam High School APES class. Now, if you're wondering why I'm wearing these sunglasses, well, the answer is pretty obvious. We're going to be talking about solar energy today, and everybody knows, the sun, solar energy. Well, get ready to learn, because here we go. Add the intro. All right, so what exactly are we talking about when we talk about solar energy? Well, solar energy, let me just take this off. Solar energy deals with energy from the sun. And like any other resource, come on, guys, always, we're always talking about resources. They are not evenly distributed among the continental US. If we look at this diagram right here, we see the maximum amount of sunlight is coming in the southwest portion of the United States. Okay, the Midwest to Southwest portion. We can see as we go more northeast where we are, there's less and less sunlight located there. And in fact, if somehow you could zoom in and take a look where we are, we're kind of right, look at the top of my pointer, right in the excuse me, right in the, let's see, 4 to 4.5 kilowatt hours per square meter per day, which means the sun shines down. You're getting so many kilowatt hours of energy per square meter of area. So if you're talking about a solar panel per day. Solar panels, by the way, active passive or active solar? What do you think? Active passive. Active passive or active solar. I totally screwed that one up. Is it passive solar design or active solar design? You tell me. Active solar design. You got it. Because we're exciting electrons, we're making them move, that's generating electricity. Whew, I gotta slow down. I'm like amazing myself right now. So let's keep on moving. Important to take from this, it's not evenly distributed. So areas in this part of the United States will generate more solar energy. Solar energy is more adapt to that area, whereas areas in this part of the United States, they're not as prime for solar energy. But think about this, when we talk about hydroelectric and tidal electric, areas on the coasts, those are better for tidal electric. Areas in the center, not that good, okay? So everybody has their own specialty of energy that they can generate in a certain area. So continuing with solar, there's so much more than just solar panels. Okay, everybody hears solar and they think, ooh, let's put some panels up on the roof. There's a lot more than that, okay? We have these large farms right here. If you could see, there's a tower that goes in the center. You have all of these mirrors. These are all mirrors. Those mirrors all collect the sunlight and then shine them up towards one singular area. That right there acts as a thermal battery. You guys are going to watch a video on this. I'm also going to post a video or send you a link for a video. But that acts as a thermal battery. And what a thermal battery does is it holds, it stores all of this heat until it can be used at a later time. And how it does that, it actually stores it with salt water. Okay. Same thing with this. These, instead of being just mirrors, they are actually concave mirrors with a pipe running through the center. Those concave mirrors focus all of their energy onto that one area, and that allows them to, again, heat up that water that's moving through there and be stored as a thermal battery. All right, guys, let me see if I could change something around. And actually, I think I can. So you guys should still be seeing me, but you're seeing me from a different camera now. So I'm going to bring this camera up because I actually want to show you this, what we're talking about here. So we're going to go to the big board. This is live. This is happening right now. You can't plan this. This is real stuff going on right now. So here's the big board. Sorry, you'll have to excuse the physics that was here. But what we're talking about, and we're going to change this over to 1 second. All right. So what we're talking about right now are these concave mirrors. And these concave mirrors kind of go like this. All right. So the sun shines down. And when it shines down, it hits and reflects up. And right through the middle, there's a pipe. So all of this energy is going and it's reflecting this way. And it's all reflecting this way. And it all shoots up towards that pipe. And the water inside this pipe heats up and heats up and heats up. And it gets so hot that it's all stored in a giant cylinder that's filled with salt water. All right. And that holds the energy. It's a thermal battery. The same thing with those collection towers. Those collection towers, what happens is there's a giant vat of NaCl water on top, and you have your collection tower, right? And then you have all of these mirrors all over. Well, the sun, again, shines down, and they're all reflected back towards that one collection area. And what that is, that gets very hot. And as it does, it will build up heat. Again, it's the same thing. It is a thermal battery. All right. So I just wanted to show you those diagrams. Let's get back to the PowerPoint. Whoa. Don't worry, I'm going to do another video where I show you guys my home office and all the cool things that have been set up for me. But let's get back to the PowerPoint. So here I am again. We're going to change this and go back to the front camera. Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. So let's take a little look. We're talking about these large array of solar collectors. That's what those mirrors were. They're solar collectors. Excuse me, guys. All right, let's keep on going. So here's that diagram. Perfect, right? I guess I didn't have to draw it, but hey, brought you right into my office so you guys can learn this stuff. The sun comes down, it reflects, it goes onto that center tube that is heating up water, again, usually salt water, and that acts as a thermal battery. Also, what do we know? How do you generate electricity? Heat heats up water, water turns to steam, steam turns to turbine, turbine's connected to a generator, generator is made up of a coil of wire and a magnet, and that gives us electricity. Say it with me again. Water turns to what? That drives a what? That's connected to a what? That's made up of what two things? And that creates electricity. All right, so not only, we don't have to necessarily just store the energy, we could also use the water that's boiling and turning into steam to make energy as well. Okay, all different ways. And you thought it was just active solar design with solar panels. This right here, this is passive solar design because we are just heating water. We're not exciting electrons, we're just heating the water. Continuing on, speaking of active solar design, you have the photovoltaic cells. In photovoltaic cells, those are your solar panels, okay? They're made up of a certain type of metal. When they get energized by the sunlight, the electrons start to jump off. You know this if you've taken chemistry class, right? The electrons jump in energy level, and then they start moving, all right? That movement creates a current. Current is the motion or the travel of electrons. Now, solar panels do fall off after a while. Their efficiency becomes less and less. You have to keep them clean. So it's not just a throw them up there and you get electricity. You have to take care of them. Excuse me. Continue moving on. So let's look at solar electricity with solar cells again. Excuse me, guys. This is active solar design. These are solar panels. And what's really cool here, it's not just the traditional solar panel. What it is, if you look at this one right here, people have actually taken your shingles, your asphalt shingles off the roof, and they've replaced them with shingles that are solar panels. So you don't have this big bulky solar panel anymore on your roof. Instead, what you have is a shingle, a small little shingle that looks like, or that is a solar panel. We have these, obviously, solar roof panels. And they all work the same way. They can provide electricity for a house or a building using the flow of electrons. All right, and it's pretty cool. They've even take solar panels. They make solar panels you could walk on. They put them in roads. They put them on sidewalks. Okay, because think about all that sunlight that's coming down and hitting the road, hitting the sidewalk, hitting the face of the earth. You can generate this electricity anywhere. Amazing, right? I know. I'm continually amazed by it. Let's move on. All right. So producing electricity with solar cells, this is also wonderful for your developing countries, your third world countries. If they can get the technology out there like you see here, you have solar panels. And what do you see down below? Right here. Okay, they're not going into a fancy building. They're not going into a residential home or industry. They're literally charging car batteries with solar panels. Why would they do that? Well, car batteries are 12 volts. You could take those car batteries, hook them up together to increase your voltage, or you could take those car batteries and with 12 volts, run a whole bunch of different electric devices, okay, or charge different electric devices. It could be used in the simplest of terms, okay? So this is a wonderful way for developing countries to get the energy that they need in order to have certain life necessities. Let's keep on going. Photovoltaic solar energy. Again, you see the solar panel. In this case, it would go down to a DC AC converter. The reason being, DC is direct current, AC is alternating current. When you plug something into your home outlet, you are plugging into AC, alternating current, which means those electrons are traveling in two directions. They alternate their direction. When you take a car battery, and run the electricity coming off of a car battery, that is a DC current, okay, direct current, which means the electrons only travel in one direction. Okay, they're not going back and forth, they travel in one direction. Now your car does have an alternator, your vehicle does have an alternator which alternates or changes the current and also charges your car. However, we now need to take our DC from the solar panel and change it into AC so that we could use it in the home. In some cases, that electric current can be used to charge batteries and stored, or you could have it feed right into the home and you use it on demand. There's also something called net metering, NETMETTERING, net metering. And what that is, net metering is when you actually sell back to the electric company because you're generating so much electricity from these solar panels, right? So much electricity from these solar panels, you actually are making more than you could use. So what do you do with the excess? You don't want to waste it. Instead, you sell it back. It goes back to the electricity company or electricity distributor, and they actually pay you for what you've generated, or they take it off your bill. Continuing on, trade-offs, advantages and disadvantages. I know you're getting tired of hearing this, but there are advantages and disadvantages to solar energy. Advantages, right off the bat, works on cloudy days. What? It works on cloudy days? It does work on cloudy days because solar energy still can travel through the clouds. You guys notice how sometimes if you're at the beach, you could still get a suntan or a sunburn on a cloudy day? Solar energy is still reaching you, okay? Quick installation. Essentially, the people bring the solar panel to your home, business, whatever. They put up a grid, a bunch of rail systems on the roof, and then they just pop the solar panels in, wire it up, and you're good to go. You could literally do a residential roof in one day. No CO2 emissions. Now, we're talking about generating the electricity, not making the solar panels themselves. When you make solar panels, you do emit CO2 through obtaining those metals. It's an industry process, okay? Putting the solar panels together. But with regard to generating the solar electricity, no CO2. I realize you can't see my hands. No CO2. They last 20 to 40 years. They do fall off a little bit in terms of efficiency, but 20 to 40 years is a good lifespan. And they reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. Now, let's click over to the disadvantages, because for every good thing, there is a bad thing, right? Need to access sun. You have to have sunlight. Now, I know I told you it could work on cloudy days, but how efficient is it? The more sun you have, the better it is. High land use, okay? Meaning these solar farms take up a lot of land. And we talked about this with the area in Alaska, ANWR, okay? The Alaskan Wildlife Refuge. If you put a solar farm in a desert, I'm sorry, but you are disrupting the habitat of the desert organisms, okay? The desert biome. You are going to disrupt some habitat. Also, down at the bottom, a high cost. If you buy solar panels, you're going to have to take like a 10 to 15 year time frame to get back your money. Okay, so if you're living in a house for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, you're going to see your money. But if you get solar panels and then move out the next year, you're not going to see that investment come back to you. And also, as we said before, DC current must be converted to AC current. Wow, let's keep on moving on, moving on. Producing electricity with solar cells. If we look, this is just a comparison. We see wind generating costs compared to environmental costs compared to total costs. So total cost of electricity in different sources, the lowest is the best. And we look at solar cells are not really, generating costs, the higher the better. Solar cells will give us the most bang for our buck, all right? We could see that coal, not as efficient. We also see coal has a larger environmental cost than any of the renewable energy sources, all right? Keep on keeping on, PHS. This right here is the Solar Collection Tower, okay, a CST. Now I'm gonna have you guys watch some pretty cool videos on this stuff, but all of those mirrors focus, they're just mirrors. They all focus the solar energy onto that one central tower. And you can imagine how hot that tower gets. And I hate to say this, but if a bird flies in between the tower and the rays pointing up at the tower, that bird will get fried instantly. Yeah, I don't mean like goose is cooked. I mean, essentially the bird will die because it will get burned. All right. There's been documented cases. In fact, one of the videos you watch will speak to this. So I don't want you to think that these are the answer, because in many cases they are. However, you need to understand that there are disadvantages. Okay, wildlife will be harmed in one form or another, whether it's taking up habitat on the ground or hurting the migration pattern of birds. There are disadvantages. Same thing with windmills, right? You're gonna watch a video on a windmill, shoot, bird flies, and boom, bye-bye birdie. So you're gonna see this stuff. But it is an awesome feat in what they could do just with the reflection of sunlight. And those mirrors actually will pivot and angle themselves to follow that sunlight as it goes over. They're constantly moving. Solar cookers, we've talked about this before, okay? Passive solar design, okay? Using solar cookers to essentially cook food. It's an amazing thing. I strongly suggest, if you guys have some time, get a cardboard box, get some aluminum foil, see if you can make these solar cookers and to what degree. And I'll tell you what, maybe this will even be a fun project after the AP exam to see what type of solar cookers you guys can make and what you can cook in them safely. So, sorry, and as always, we see the advantages and disadvantages. So, almost done, guys. We got these last two slides. The sun's energy can be captured directly. Okay, active solar design, we're capturing that sun's energy with these solar panels. Passive solar design, we're capturing the sun's energy with those essentially water heaters. That's what we're doing. We're heating water. Okay, solar hot water heaters, photovoltaic cells, concentrating solar thermal electricity generation. That's the CST, concentrated solar thermal power, okay? And then finally, domestic hot water systems. If you look right up there, that's not a solar panel. That is a hot water solar collection system. It is passive solar design because we're simply taking water, piping it through this box, which is up on your roof, constantly getting hit by those solar rays. It's warming the water, and what that does is it increases your temperature. Now, I want you to understand, does that water go right into your shower? No. That water travels into your hot water heater. And what does it do? It makes it so your hot water heater doesn't have to work as hard. So you're saving electricity that way, okay? Your hot water heater will take water in general from, say, 40 degrees and heat it up to 120. Now, if you can pipe your water through a passive design solar hot water heater first, you could heat it up from the 40 to maybe 80, to maybe 90. It comes back down into your hot water heater, and guess what? Now your hot water heater doesn't have to work as hard. It can now heat that water from 80 or 90 to 120. So you're using less energy there. All right, guys. So I hope this has helped you. I hope you understand solar energy a little bit better. Make sure you do your reading on solar energy. Make sure you watch this video as many times as you need to. And make sure you answer your checkpoint questions on solar energy. All right, guys. You can expect biomass, you can expect wind energy, geothermal, and water, hydroelectric to come up in the future in future videos. So hopefully you guys are staying safe, doing your work. Contact me if you have any questions, and look for those Zoom meetings. I'm trying to do one every day now, open meeting. So, all right, guys, take care. I'll see y'all. Mr. F, out.